Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to exercise the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, with a new year already starting, we see Amiyu grow closer to Yifa and Seika, thanking the two for spending time with her and helping her study. Noting that there had been no more demon attacks, Seika is seen putting talismans all over campus to prepare for a repeat incident like last year. Seika is suddenly called by the vice principal to have him and Yifa visit the principal office the next morning. Pondering the meaning of this, a girl continues to observe the trio. Heading to the office the next evening, the two realize they've never actually seen the principal before, believing the position to be vacant. Laying eyes on Seika, the principal is immediately able to tell Seika is mature, whilst Seika is shocked to see the principal as a demi-human, which the principal takes as an insult, prompting Seika to apologize for addressing the principal as so. Seeing Seika, the principal offhandedly mentions his uncle, but Seika was unaware he had an uncle. Getting to the point, the principal asks for Seika or Yifa to enter a sword fighting tournament with a new first year, Mabel Crane. Jealous that she wasn't offered to fight, Amiyu wonders why now of all years does the magical school get to participate in a physical combat tournament. Seika reasons that it would be best for him to go, and that it would help the school's reputation. Additionally, the principal had asked Seika or Yifa because the upperclassmen are all busy with exams, but Yifa did mention Seika had a reputation, having already been through various tough jobs. Still sour about not being invited, Amiyu learns that winners get money, but also the chance of being a royal guard, which Amiyu is against, as she would prefer fighting monsters in a dungeon, over standing by all day. Comforting Amiyu ultimately concedes, but one thing is still suspicious, as Yifa was chosen over Amiyu, since most people know Yifa would never be able to harm another human, which makes joining a tournament unreasonable. Walking through the school, Amiyu continues to bash Mabel, believing her to be a noble, using others to benefit for themselves. But Mabel overhears her, stating that Amiyu has no idea of the hardships Mabel has been through. Calling Amiyu all talk for someone weak, Amiyu becomes triggered, challenging Mabel to a duel. Demanding some practice swords, Amiyu tosses a blade to Mabel, asking to settle who's stronger once and for all. With both taking stances, Seika notes how both are showing off their confidence with a blade. Wanting to see Mabel's potential, Seika signals for the two to fight. With Amiyu lunging at Mabel, Mabel is able to parry her blade, going on the offensive, which catches Amiyu off guard. Having destroyed Amiyu's blade, Mabel is deemed the winner, walking off, but not before asserting her dominance. But Amiyu calls Mabel out for using magic, which Mabel calls it part of the duel, turning to Seika and telling him to take the tournament seriously. Checking up on Amiyu, we see Amiyu set her goal on something. A while later, Seika is seen on a carriage heading to the capital with Mabel, but they are accompanied by Yifa and Amiyu. Wanting to see Mabel's true potential, Amiyu had snuck out of class, which Seika couldn't help, and will share a lodge with Yifa. On the way, everyone learns that Mabel is the same age as Seika and Amiyu, but Yifa is a year older than everyone, explaining her more matured body. Seeing others having fun, Mabel can't help but detest them, as they aren't mature enough for her. Wanting to say something, Seika holds himself back, which Mabel adds that Seika too is not mature enough. Having arrived, Mabel has disappeared, and Seika is in poor shape, but Seika still soldiers on. Looking at the brackets, Seika realizes that he'll have to fight Mabel, eventually, which is weird to say the least. Asking if Amiyu recognizes any fighters, Amiyu states that no strong adventurers would be caught participating. Seen enough, Seika has to be alone, wanting to figure the reason for why he was chosen over others to participate in a sword tournament. Before leaving, Amiyu makes jokes about Seika doing naughty things, which Seika is forced to brush off. With the tournament beginning, it's revealed that half of participants are mages, and that someone loses if they are unconscious, knocked out of the ring, surrender or their amulet is broken. With Seika as the first match, we see his opponent, a mercenary Dennis Regan, supposedly the strongest in his guild, but is also a disowned noble for bad behavior. Additionally, Dennis is purely a swordsman who loves beating up the weak, especially mages, believing that mages are too slow to cast their spells. Knowing that he'll win, Dennis thinks of Seika, but Seika says he'll easily handle Dennis swiftly. As the match begins, Dennis impales Seika, but Seika feints with a talisman, appearing behind and blowing Dennis out of the ring. Knowing he didn't kill him, Seika shows no care to Scum, as he heads out. Chatting with Yuki, Seika agrees that he needs to tone it down, if he doesn't want to stand out. Arriving back with Amiyu and Yifa, Seika thanks the girls for cheering him on, as they await the next match. Bellum, a water mage versus Kyle, a warrior with no information, meaning he could be either mage or swordsman. With the bout beginning, Kyle immobilizes Bellum, slowly walking to his opponent. Wondering why Bellum isn't moving, Seika has a closer look, watching as Bellum is stabbed by Kyle, winning him the match and impressing onlookers. With no one knowing what just transpired, Seika deduces that Kyle most likely wields an evil eye, and has killed countless people, able to. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.